Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks Part 2. Part 1, I've showed you how to get to this point, but I'm going to left click and have no outline. And then we're going to change these numbers. The numbers aren't very good. Matter of fact, I'm going to take the yellow box away. I don't need it anymore because it's not white. I mean, there's nothing transparent, or it's all transparent right now. So we're going to get rid of these numbers, but I'm going to first type out 29. And I took the liberty to find a font that was, okay, that's a good thing. I had a Ghost product in there, so don't need it. I took the liberty to find a Western font that kind of looked like the one on the wordage. And I think I'm pretty close. It's not quite the same, but it's close enough, I think, for the customer. So what I'm going to do, I've got that number, but I actually want it as a no fill. And I'm just going to delete these numbers. See, we got double images, so that could cause a problem. You know what I'm going to do? Let's see, we're only 4 inches. I'm going to change my next factor to 4, and I'm going to get this boundary out of the way. That'll save us a lot of steps because you're not touching. So there's the number I'm going to get rid of. And I'm going to put this number in there, and then I'm going to rotate it to kind of get it close. And I'm at 14.7 points, 14.18 points. I am going to control, or I'm just going to hit the plus key on the keyboard and change that. And I'm actually going to mirror it the other way. Well, you can't mirror it. You've got to rotate it. If you mirror it, you get that. And then we're going to go, I've lost some part of my toolbox up here. I'm going to go right here and I'm going to make this a 4 and hit enter. And then I'm just going to delete this 4. And if I was doing this for real, I'd maybe take a little bit more time. Because now, when we fill this in with the Smart Fill tool, our numbers look pretty good. And, that might be a way to grade this thing in a way. Let's back up here and let's take his mask away. That's really what's causing me. Well, I can't smart fill it till I put my face back or my outline. And I'm going to take that away in just a second, but I want to show you what the numbers look like. So the numbers look really good. You got to fill in the inner parts. Okay. Now let's get this mask out of the way. So what we're going to have to, I'm going to left click, right click, so I can just get that outline. Hopefully my outline is still there. Yep, see the outline's still there. So, and we can leave that center of that 5 in there. Now the main, and I stated in the other video, the main reason for the video is to make these lines thicker. So what we're going to do, we're going to nudge this outline up. And we're going to take well, you know what? I'm going to put that over too, because I'm going to get all these lines, and I'm not going to do them all at the same time. And I'm going to move them up. That way I can know I've got them, because I don't want really any other part of the drawing. And this would be a good time to get rid of those. I'm going to leave that line, those little dots that are on here too. Okay. Because right now we're just worried about the cap. So what we're going to do now is for this to work, there's another line. Just amazes me. So if I was doing this for real, I'd go ahead and get rid of these little specks right now. That might not even be needed there. There's another line. But get rid of all these specks, and I'm not going to get rid of all of them. I'll let the person I'm trying to help take the time. But so then what we need to do is group this together. Go up to Object Group and group it. excuse me, and then go to effects and contour. We're going to contour the outside 0.06. That made my lines that much thicker. And the good thing about it, you can go to range and break the contour apart and then just grab, and our red is our new. So I must have nudged. Excuse me. So nudge that up. Break. I probably backed up too much. Sometimes you have to select it all, break contour apart. So I want to go up. Now I want to go red, back. Now watch what happens when we put our, you know what I should have done? I should have made a copy of it. Now let's use the Smart Fill tool. And look how much thicker the lines are, especially when we take away, well, we can't really take away that line. Because, well, we can. Look at the difference in the cap. Totally different. Now we got some garbage going on. I think, well, you know what it is? I contoured so much that it took these little specks. So let's do it again. Let's get rid of these little specks. You got to go to range, group, and ungroup it again. Let's get rid of these specks. I don't think they're necessary, especially on a logo that's going to be that little. Well, you know what? I'm just going to do half of them, half the cap. Because when I contoured, maybe I shouldn't contour quite so much. But let's get rid of these. Okay, there's another one on the end. So what happened is I contoured so much that, so let's group this back together. Group. And let's just contour 0.004. So you just made it a little bit thicker. And it looks pretty good. So break the contour apart and then just select one of them, and you want the red one to stay. So we move that one over there. Let's get rid of that red one and let's delete it. And let's put this one back. And now let's Smart Fill it. And I hope you remember, you know what we can do? Well, let's hope this will work. Smart Fill tool. See how much now we can get rid of the outline? And the outline is going to make it even look thicker. You know, one more time, I want to back up. His face should not, you know, here we go. I need that back in there. The eyes are getting too dark. And I think this is going to stop it. Yeah, that's perfect. Because then you're going to go in and fill that in. But if we take away the line now, we're going to have to do that afterwards, but I'm going to right click and no outline. Look at that. Now I should have filled in these spots before I did that. And I'm still getting some weird shapes, but that could be fixed. You know, it's just because of the lines, but I think it looks pretty cool. And you almost have to do that. Now, we have to go back and have the lines to like take the Smart Fill tool and fill that in. And I would strongly suggest you put a rectangle around this when you're doing this. So it will not bleed everywhere. And let's just fill it in with black, the other parts. And it's a pretty cool logo. And what I'm the world's worst about starting off and then changing directions. If this, now see, there's another line. So the lines are going to affect us when we're doing this. So just be watching. I'm going to have to go up to object, break the curve apart. So just be watching when you Smart Fill stuff in, that it fills in the whole thing. And it's always smarter to fill in when you're doing this. So I think we're done with the logo. And then when we take away the outline, it'll be a lot sharper. And I'm going to right click. That logo is pretty good. Now, that line is actually in the drawing, so I'm going to leave it. I would do the same thing for his beard. I mean, look at the difference in the cap from mine to the new one. Because this, even on wood, on something that small, you know, that's 3.5 inches. Not even 3.5 inches. All right, we're done with it, with the exception that we need to add the graphic, and I'm going to around the circle. So I'm going to Control G to group that. Anyway, stay tuned for part 3, and then we'll be over. Hope that helped. Thank you for watching.